Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you're not. If you are a lover of all things beauty, handbags, luxury, and fashion, you've come to the right place. My name is Cece and welcome. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the hottest new handbag releases by designer, by fashion house. Which ones are the hottest and the ones I'm loving the most? Why not? And we'll briefly touch upon some of these archival pieces that have made a comeback. Hint, hint, the Chloe Paddington. I'm going to go ahead and share the pros, the cons, what I love and don't love, and why. Be sure to stay tuned until the end of this video. Let me know which one is your favorite and which one you're planning on buying, which one might be on your wish list. I do want to mention that today's video is in partnership with 7 or 9. This is a perfect fall staple for anyone looking to incorporate a beautiful pair of suede brown chocolatey delicious shoes. This is it. Their shoes are where it's at. It was founded by 2 women in 2016 with a focus on how to get beautiful luxury fashion and comfort, making heels, shoes, and other beautiful pieces comfortable, but also fashion forward. You know that my fashion and my aesthetic is all about practicality, comfort. I will incorporate the heel every now and then, but I do strive to incorporate comfort wherever possible. And it starts off with shoes. So I am really not buying heels. There's something about heels boots though, so I will make an exception. Typical standard pointy toe pumps, that's not it for me. So I'm investing in more loafers and flats, sneakers. So when 7 or 9 reached out, I said absolutely yes, because this is the type of shoe you're gonna want in your collection, and I'm gonna show you why. They're aimed to make comfort the basic style. I ordered the coffee croissant loafers. They're suede square toe shoes. They incorporated something that they call a mattress flats technology. So they've got this cushiony, soft insole. I do have a 15% off discount code for you guys, which I will flash up on the screen, and I'll include a link to these shoes as well as my discount code in the description box down below. Let's go ahead and unbox these beauties. It does come with this sizing sheet. Put this on the floor, put your foot over it, and it'll tell you exactly what the size of your shoe is. Now, I did go true to size on these, like the option of wearing my loafers with a thin sock or no sock at all. Did recently invest in the YSL brown chocolate suede loafers that were trending. I got them in Paris when we went back in April. Actually, I got them in Nice, but these are like almost better. They have this rubber sole bottom, so they're non-slip, which I really like. They've got a cute little pattern design there. Let me know if you guys can see that. So cute. Now, I would not wear this in the snow, but think of how cute that little pattern imprint would be on snow. You've got that beautiful insole. It's like nice, stretchy fabric suede leather line. They did not skimp on the quality at all. Full suede exterior back tab here to help with putting the shoe on. You also have this nice rouging, so you've got an extra stretch there to get the shoe on and off. I'm gonna try them on really quick, and I'll include mod shots for you guys. I'm gonna be wearing these. They feel like butter on the feet. Oh my god, I can't even tell you how comfortable these shoes are. They are so comfortable. These are comparable to Todd's. These are gonna be in my fall wardrobe lineup. These are going in my September favorites video. Let's go ahead and get right into today's video, which is to talk about handbags. But yes, you know I'm a shoe lover as well. So we're gonna start with the Chloe Paddington bag. I personally never liked this bag. I didn't like it when it was originally launched and released in the 2000s. Personally, I find it a little impractical. The lock, it's just big and bulky. I just don't know. Not a fan. They did make some changes to it to make it more comfortable, less weighty, less heavy. The lock is supposed to be lighter, so it's definitely more practical. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a fan, include it in the comment section down below. The next one's gonna be the Chanel. They did come out with the Chanel 25, which I really like, and I know we've talked about this a few times. I have a YouTube short when it released on launch day, and I saw it in both the white and the black leather, but now they released it in suede, and this chocolatey brown. I am a sucker for a suede bag. I need a suede bag in the worst way, like a smaller suede bag. I did talk about some of my fall favorite handbags, which I'll include for you guys here, and some of like really budget friendly, very reasonable price point fall bag, but I am loving the Chanel 25 in suede. It is so good in so many different color variations. I'm loving the chocolate brown, but also in the gray color. Now, Hermès released quite a few different variations of existing bags. So now they've come out with the Birkin in a wool variation. Personally, I'm not a fan. It's giving felt vibes. Did they run out of leather and they decided to just incorporate wool on it because they couldn't finish it? And it doesn't really look like wool. It's not giving like warm, cozy wool. It's giving felt. It almost looks like they ran out of material and just slapped some felt on the bag. bag. I don't know. That's just me personally. I'm not a fan, but let me know what you guys think. They do have something called a Sac Kelly 2 Cellier Clout in a studded palladium. It's cute. I'm still more of a fan of the classic mini Kelly personally. I like the edging. I like what they're doing with wanting to explore and push the boundaries, but personally, I wouldn't go for a studded bag unless it was a much lower price point or too much hardware, too much studding. They do have a Bridon, which I am really liking. It's like a quiet luxury version of the Birkin 30. It's a little more understated. It's sophisticated. She's elegant. And if you don't really want the Birkin or don't want to go through the hassle of getting a Birkin, I don't know if they're considering it a quota bag, but this might be another great option in lieu of a Birkin. It may also be a good bag if you want something a little more understated. You want to wear something that's similar in practicality and in size and silhouette, but something that isn't going to be obvious to the naked eye that it is a Birkin. They also have a double longe bucket bag. Now this one I really like. I think she's really pretty. They've done a really nice job of incorporating some of these new pieces and new styles. It's a little bit different and new for the fashion house. So this one's really pretty, and bucket bags are really trending right now. So this is their ode to the bucket bag. They have a petite sac as well, which I also really like. And then they have a mallet. Now the mallet is giving Celine box bag. I have one in my collection. I've thought about getting rid of it, but I think I'm going to hold on to it. I think every fashion house is known for a specific silhouette or known for a specific bag that they make the mark on. The Louis Vuitton is known for the speedy. Any other fashion house that comes and tries to make like a speedy doctor bag type style, you're going to be reminiscing on the Louis Vuitton speedy. Immediately that comes to mind. I would say the same is true for the Hermès Bolide, only this one is giving Alma vibes. So every fashion house is known for like a specific silhouette. The Phantom bag with Celine, and we're going to get into that as well. They are reissuing the new Phantom bag. The Bolide is definitely giving Alma, and personally, if you like that shape and silhouette, why not just go for the original fashion house who released that shape or style? But she's pretty, she's understated. She is hard to say no to for sure. Now we're going to get into Dior. They've got some changes going on with their creative directors, but they did issue a variation, which is the medium D Journey bag in a shiny grained calfskin leather. This one is interesting. I don't know that I would spend the money on it personally. This one's a little bit new, so I don't know that I would go for it. I do love the D Joy, like the mini. I love the variations on the original Lady Dior Bottega. Now, Bottega, I am loving what they've done. If anyone watched Bottega Veneta's recent fashion show, their new creative director, Louise, did a phenomenal job. Fashion is so female heavy, male creative directors and males sitting at the very top leading as opposed to females. Bottega Veneta finally brought in Louise as their new creative director, and she blew it out of the water. She literally hit home runs. I'm seeing the same with the bags, and I am here for it. I also mentioned in my last video that Bottega doesn't really try to change their aesthetic or style to appease the younger generation. They're not trying to go for more edge. They have a certain aesthetic, they stick to it, they push boundaries where needed. The Bottega Veneta Campana bag is gorgeous. I know it's hard to say, let me go for the Campana, because you have the Jody and it's very similar. It's also very similar to the Hop bag, but what I think they did, the drop length on the shoulder strap is much bigger. So you have more room. For instance, I have the small Hop bag and my drop length for the shoulder is quite small and narrow, and I'm a curvy girl, I'm 5'2". It doesn't fit quite right. So I really can't wear that bag on my shoulder. But the Campana bag has a nice roomy drop length, so you really can wear it comfortably as a shoulder bag. They also came out with the Andiamo bucket bag. I was not a fan of the Andiamo, but now that I saw the bucket bag, oh my gosh. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. And again, you're going to see more and more bucket bags released by different fashion houses because that's what's trending. That's what the people want. We're going to give them what they want. It's coming in fast and furious. Doesn't mean it's going to be in style in 2-3 years, but it does come in and out of style where people lean more towards the bucket bag than others. The Row released their Park Tote, and it's still been popular for 3-4 years now, and it's gorgeous and doing quite well. They also came out with the Soft Vanity and the Knot Lock. Vanity bags are also making a comeback, also quite popular, interesting silhouette. I personally love the Louis Vuitton and Chanel vanity bags, but this soft vanity is also quite beautiful. And I'm also loving their knot lock clutch. It's a play on the original Bottega Veneta clutch bag. I will say I have a fabric Bottega Veneta clutch that I purchased pre-loved. It's still one of my favorite clutches out there and one of the ones I reach for the most. I've actually thought about investing in a new Bottega Veneta clutch. Haven't quite made the plunge yet. One of my favorites is the parachute bag. Now they have different sizes. They have the small versus the large. I saw the suede version in person when I went into the store and she is gorgeous, but now they've released more colors and it's just a gorgeous, beautiful bag. She's so pretty. She's so elegant. They're still going hard with the Intrecciato leather, but it's doing so well. And now with incorporating the suede, they lean on more of the trend right now, but they remain true to their brand aesthetic. You also have the Bang Bang in the teddy, which is very cute. They incorporated a little bit of like that teddy look here and it is adorable. In the fondant color, she's giving rich chocolatey brown, cozy. I want to cuddle up next to this bag, next to a fireplace, have a cup of little hot cocoa and just enjoy. The Jody in the suede amber, also quite beautiful. The Jody you cannot go wrong with. Now with the suede, I'm going to be scouring the pre-loved websites to see if I can find a good deal. In the amber particularly, she's giving caramel. She's giving fall tone vibes. She's beautiful. The color is just stunning. Of course, the Celine. Now, their new luggage bag is a variation of the Phantom. I was a fan of the Phantom. I remember someone I know having the Phantom bag. It was a very known, reputable bag. You saw that bag, you knew it was Celine. But what they did with this luggage bag, I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. It literally looks like a happy face, 2 eyes and a smile. And I think they got this one wrong. That's just me personally. I think they should have stuck to the original aesthetic and just maybe changed something else about it. I wouldn't have changed the design of the bag itself. Maybe in a suede variation, maybe in a few different colors that weren't available when it originally launched. But what they did with changing the design and the style of it, no, not a fan. The Aloe yoga bag. There's people that are really loving or hating the idea of getting an Aloe yoga bag and spending this much money on a designer bag. Aloe is not known for designer bags the way that Bottega, Celine, Hermès are, but they're trying to break that mold. I will say though, at first I'm thinking, what are they thinking charging $3,300 for an Aloe yoga bag? No one's buying that. I don't know if it's their marketing campaign. I don't know if it's the photo shoot, but I started looking on their website recently and I kind of like the bag. They have this nice bucket style tote. It's got like a crystal on it. It's giving like cool girl athleisure aesthetic, but she's very sophisticated. She's definitely a Pilates or a yoga girl. Very, very pretty. I still don't think I would spend that amount of money. I'll be so curious and interested to know what your thoughts are. What do you think of Aloe Yoga trying to push and break the mold on luxury handbags? Would you buy and spend this much money on an Aloe Yoga bag? Last but not least is going to be the Fendi Spy Bag reissue. I think this one they got right. I like what they did. I liked the original reissue. I think she was a little too busy for me. She was very much like early 2000s, but they simplified it a little bit. They stuck true to the original silhouette and style of the bag, but they toned it down. It's not as loud, have this nice brown, beautiful color, but it's still the original shape and style, just toned down. She's elevated. She's a little more quiet luxury. Early 2000s girl that's now following her quiet luxury vibes and well into her 30s and 40s and enjoying life. This is a good option. I have a hard time spending full price on essentially the same bag, even if she is toned down and prettier. What do you guys think? Would you spend full price on the new Fendi Spy bag, or would you opt for a more pre-loved option and save your dough? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram as well, where I post daily. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!